Marijuana and nursing. Should nurses use marijuana now that it's legal in the state of New Jersey? The purpose of this microeducation is to address an issue within our state that is buzzing in the nursing community. It is one of those topics people are wondering about, but are either too afraid to ask or too embarrassed. At the conclusion of this microeducation, 100% of participants will report understanding the New Jersey State Board of Nursing's law regarding nurses using marijuana products. At the beginning of our nursing careers, after we graduate nursing school, we are all so excited to take our nursing boards. After we pass the boards, we can then apply to the State Board of Nursing to get our license. As part of that process in the state of New Jersey, there are several Board of Nursing laws outlined that we must adhere to. The initial process for licensure is followed up every 2 years when we renew, understanding that we must adhere to the same licensure requirements. Law 45-1126 defines the qualifications required to become a nurse. This includes, but is not limited to, the following statement. An applicant for a license to practice professional nursing in the state of New Jersey shall not be a habitual drug user. This is not a position statement from the New Jersey State Nurses Association and is no way intended to invalidate the effectiveness of medical marijuana. This is a second offering of an education from earlier in the year due to multiple requests and popular demand. Please do not request CE if you have already completed this education earlier in the year. Thank you. So, how do you disprove habitual drug use? The answer is you can't. There's currently no breathalyzer for marijuana. A test cannot discern whether you've used marijuana 5 days ago or 5 minutes ago. What I'm about to say next is an incredibly important fact to understand regarding protecting your license and those that you care for. If an incident should occur while you're practicing, such as a medication error, a patient complaint, or if you in some way harm a patient, you may be drug tested. If you test positive, there's no way to determine if you smoked, vaped, dabbed, used lotion, or in any way, shape, or form used a marijuana product recently, a week ago, a month ago. Marijuana comes in various forms now. They're not always detectable by scent. The use of these products is increasing. This factor, compounded with nurses' mental health issues being on the rise and marijuana being so accessible now that it's legal, this is a serious concern. The use of any marijuana products could have very serious consequences to those of us that have a nursing license in the state of New Jersey. But it's medicine. Marijuana is still illegal federally. It is a Scheduled I illegal substance. Other substances in this same class include heroin and LSD. Additionally, marijuana is not FDA approved for the medical uses listed in the state. At the Food and Drug Administration, which is a federal organization, it takes a team of physicians, statisticians, chemists, pharmacists, and other scientists years to thoroughly provide a labor-intensive study to determine how this substance can be used medicinally. There is currently legislation on the federal level that introduces a bill which would change marijuana from a Class 1 to a Class 2 substance, thereby making it legal on the federal level to start researching it for therapeutic reasons and to become FDA approved for drugs. But at this time, it's not cleared for the use and is still federally illegal. Here's a really important issue: employment. Well, some of you will say, why does this matter? I don't work for the Veterans Administration or any other federal government agency. I don't even work for the state of New Jersey. Well, here's the problem. Employers such as hospitals, nursing facilities, and other agencies have a zero-tolerance drug policy in place. Medicare and Medicaid are federal payers to most medical organizations. Most employers have policies in place for drug screening upon hiring, spot testing, and retention, and these agencies abide by all mandatory reporting laws. Let's not forget, New Jersey is an at-will employment state, and that means your employer can let you go for any or no reason, as long as it is not in some way illegal or discriminatory in nature. So let's talk about these mandatory reporting laws. There are mandatory reporting laws in the state of New Jersey. For instance, the Healthcare Professional Responsibility and Reporting Enhancement Act. This is also known as the Cullen Law, and it includes notification to the Board of Nursing related to impairment or misconduct of a healthcare professional. The State Board of Nursing will receive these positive drug test reports, and you may be referred to the New Jersey Alternative to Discipline program called RAMP. This is the Recovery and Monitoring Program. This program will have a cost to you. The board could also revoke or suspend your license depending on the outcome of your drug use. Meaning, did you harm someone? Did you have a near miss? Did you almost harm someone? Did you divert drugs? Did you in some way cause harm to yourself? Incidentally, this would be true for the use of alcohol or the misuse of your own prescription drugs. You may not be impaired in any way during practice, which includes all of the mentioned ways. In addition to this, sleep deprivation. That's another major one that we're seeing. Practicing while impaired because you're not getting enough sleep due to picking up too many extra shifts. Appeals to the State Board of Nursing are very long and costly. You will most certainly require an attorney, which will also be at your cost. Well, what if I have a medical marijuana card? That should cover me, right? Well, if it's your intention to use this as an explanation, saying that you have a medical card, you really cannot rely on that. Impaired practice is impaired practice, period. If you're lucky enough to be referred to the RAMP program while caught being impaired, they will ask you, why are you not able to use one of the hundreds of pharmaceuticals which are FDA approved for the treatment of your medical condition? You'll need to be prepared to answer that question. So to answer the question, should nurses use marijuana now that it's legal in the state of New Jersey? The answer is no. The answer is no. Licensed nurses in the state of New Jersey, which include LPNs, RNs, advanced practice nurses, regardless of your degree, any nurse that cares for patients, that answers to the Board of Nursing, which includes travel nurses with compact nursing license who have to adhere to our laws, may not use marijuana, even though it is legal in the state of New Jersey. When marijuana legalization in the state of New Jersey was first taking place, they hammered out some laws governing rules related to possession and use of marijuana for those found eligible based on their chronic conditions to possess a medical marijuana card. So stemming from that, there's a law under section 1730A-1311 in New Jersey, and this statute says that there is some protection against any board disciplinary actions for medical card holders. It's a general statement. It could be any licensed person from a certified electrician to a dog groomer. So here's where I caution you to remember something. If an incident occurs at work and you are drug tested and screened positive for marijuana, you will be reported to the New Jersey Board of Nursing for further investigation, just as you would the same for suspected alcohol use at work. Remember that currently federal law does not protect us from medical marijuana usage and the consequences surrounding that because it is still illegal federally. Most healthcare facilities have some sort of federal funding, so I remind you to be mindful of that. Additionally, impairment outside of your work area will also be reported to the Board of Nursing in situations, for example, if you're found driving under the influence of some sort of impairing substance, whether it's prescribed to you, whether it's medical marijuana, whether it's recreational marijuana, alcohol, or anything that impairs your ability to operate a motor vehicle safely, and you're pulled over and found guilty. So just to wrap things up, if you are found to be under the influence of marijuana while working as a nurse in the state of New Jersey, there may be substantial financial, legal, and licensing consequences as a result of that decision. The process may take years to settle, resulting in an accumulation of legal fees, which are your responsibility. You may be unable to work as a nurse during your legal battle, thereby creating a financial hardship to you and your family. Nurses working in the state of New Jersey should not use marijuana, whether it's a medical card, whether it's recreation, or any derivatives of marijuana in any forms. Thank you for your time. I hope you found this information useful. Be safe.